Making headlines tonight, GMOA postpones strike action. Following discussions with Maha Sangha and Colombo Archbishop, doctors decide to postpone indefinite strike.
First at 9. This is Derana 24/7.
Also making news tonight, while protest against Saitam continues at Fort, government says no abolishment, but standards will be addressed. Maha Sangha on new constitution. Chief prelates of 3 sectors unanimously decide that a new constitution is not needed. Ummah Oil Crisis. Cabinet Subcommittee member Minister Mahinda Amaravira assures safer lands for the affected. Making headlines in international news tonight, North Korea claims successful test of first intercontinental ballistic missile. Russia and China urge freeze in launches. Good evening and a warm welcome. I'm Indiva Yamwat. We begin tonight's broadcast from developments of the Saitam issue. The Government Medical Officers Association announced that the island-wide strike, which was scheduled for tomorrow, will be postponed until next week. The decision was arrived at following requests made by the Chief Prelate of the Askiri chapter, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Gnanaratana Thera, and the Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith. Media briefing yesterday, the Government Medical Officers Association stated that an indefinite strike will be launched tomorrow, demanding the closure of the South Asian Institute of Technology and Medicine. The officials of the association held discussions with the Chief Prelate of the Askiri chapter, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Gnanaratana Thera, last evening. Convening a media briefing today, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith requested the GMOAs to suspend the indefinite strike.
I would like to make a personal appeal in the name of humanity to all our doctors, especially of the GMOA, not to go ahead with their planned trade union action which they want to start tomorrow, to defer it until the country gets over this urgent problem. And I also like to ask all political leaders of the different political parties not to make use of this to attack each other.
Meanwhile, convening a media briefing this evening, the GMOA announced that they have postponed the planned indefinite strike.
The
GMOA members, including the chairman Dr. Anuruddha Padeniya, discussed extensively with Minister Lakshman Kiriyalla last evening. We received a positive response. We also met the Most Venerable Chief Prelate of the Askiriya chapter yesterday. His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith also made a special request this morning, saying that he will mediate to solve this issue and not to create inconveniences to the public and to stop the strike temporarily. Powerful ministers who are representing the government stated that the President and the Prime Minister have reached a common stance.
Officials of the GMOA met His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith after the media briefing. Meanwhile, the hunger strike launched by university students, their parents, trade union activists on the 28th of June demanding the abolishment of Saitam continued into a 7th consecutive day today adjacent the Fort railway station.
The Fort Magistrates Courts yesterday took up the petition filed by the police seeking the removal of the platform set up by the protesters. During the hearing, student union leaders of medical faculty stated that the platform will be removed on Wednesday the 5th. Some of the lecturers of the medical faculty at the University of Kelaniya, members of the Frontline Socialist Party and the People's Servants Party also participated in the protest, extending their support to the hunger strike today.
The only solution is abolishing Saitam. We have to work together and it's enough waiting around. The government is attempting to suppress these protestations. The police sought the assistance of court in an attempt to stop the protest by yesterday. The government is at a point of prohibiting the peaceful protests launched by the parents.
Meanwhile, the issue of Saitam was discussed at several media briefings today.
Trade unions, political parties, lecturers of universities, artists and activists have organised a protest march in Nugegoda at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We will converge at the Ananda Samarakon Open Air Theatre from 3 protest marches commencing from Kurlapana, Vijayarama and Kalubovila.
පාගමන් තුනකින් නැවිලා ඒ විරෝධතා රැළිය සංවිධානය කරනවා නුගේගොඩ ආනන්ද සමරකෝන් එලිමාන රංගපීඨයේදී.
නෑ අපි සාහිත්‍යම අහෝසි කරන්නේ නෑ.
We will not abolish Saitam. The issue is about its standards. Changing Saitam's management and bringing it under the government's administration while safeguarding its standards is where the solution lies. We hope that the GMOA realise this.
රජයේ වෛද්‍ය නිලධාරීන් සංගමයට නැනස පහළ වේවා කියලා.
The Maha Sangha, headed by chief prelates of the 3 Buddhist sectors, came to a unanimous stance today regarding the proposed constitution. Holding a Sangha Sabha, the Maha Sangha of the Siam, Amarapura and Ramanya sectors emphasized that a new constitution is not needed for the country. The Maha Sangha also discussed several issues, including the International Convention for the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearances Bill, which is to be tabled in Parliament tomorrow.
Maha Sangha, representing all 3 Buddhist sectors, gathered for a special Sangha Sabha at the Askari temple in Kandy today. Following the Sangha Sabha, decisions taken by the Maha Sangha were disclosed to the media.
Maha Sangha, attached to all Buddhist sectors, reached a unanimous decision that it is not at all suitable to establish a new constitution which could create unnecessary problems. We all agreed that only the electoral system needs to be amended. Extremist issues have arisen in the country. We decided to propose the government to appoint a special committee to look into matters pertaining to establishment of religious places, preservation of archaeological sites, as well as issues pertaining to culture and religion. An unacceptable bill that is to focus on punishing innocent soldiers of this country for their actions during the brutal war is to be tabled in Parliament tomorrow. We are of the stance that this particular bill should not be tabled. And then Sinhalese and Buddhists of the country are facing difficulties these days. We decided to hand over the President an epistle on the 6th requesting these matters be solved.
And President Maithripala Sirisena says that the strength of trade union campaigns lies on the characteristics of its leaders. He may express this view during the function organised to unveil the new building of Sri Lanka Freedom Party Trade Union Federation this evening.
In the political history of this country, when a government is toppled, the trade unions of the government and the party in power were destroyed. But in the political transition of the 8th of January 2015, when the new government came to power, the issues faced by the trade unions were little at the beginning. But we intervened and solved them. The strength of trade union campaigns lies on the characteristics of their leaders. Honesty, dedication, close relationship with those who work with the leader, and humanity create the foundation of trade unions.
මානවවාදයක් සමග තමයි වෘත්තීය සමිති ගොඩනැගෙන්නේ.
Moving on to the Ummah Oil Controversy, Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development, Mahinda Amaraveera says people affected by the Ummah Oil project should be shifted to safer lands since the project has given rise to various concerns. He expressed these views in a communique following yesterday's observation tour of the project site as a member of the presidential, or rather the subcommittee appointed to look into the Ummah Oil issue.
Releasing a communique, Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development and State Minister of Maha Valley Development, Mahinda Amaraveera, shows that it is risky for people to remain in the area in consideration of the surface and underneath condition of the earth. The communique further states the government has decided to take over 50 acres of land belonging to a plantation company and shift people there. The minister goes on to say a water project that will benefit 15,000 families will be executed and measures will be taken to distribute 3,000 water tanks before constructing permanent waterways in a bid to address prevailing drinking water issues in the area. He also highlighted that he was unable to listen to people and recognize their necessities yesterday following the imprudent behaviour of Provincial Councillor Samantha Widiaratne. Concluding the statement, Minister Amarveera says he changed his perception of Provincial Councillor Widiaratne being an eminent politician following yesterday's incident.
The former governor of the Eastern Province, Austin Fernando, received his letter of appointment as the secretary to the president today. Meanwhile, several other high-profile appointees were also sworn in before President Maithripala Sirisena.
The governor of the Eastern Province, Austin Fernando, was appointed as the new secretary to the president. He received his letter of appointment from President Maithripala Sirisena at the president's official residence today. Earlier in his illustrious career, he served as the district secretary of Polonnaruwa as well as secretary to a couple of ministries, among which he was appointed as secretary to the Ministry of Defence from 2001 to 2003. Former Additional Solicitor General and President's Counsel Kapila Widiaratne was appointed as the new Secretary of Defence by the President today. Kapila Widiaratne was appointed to the post following the resignation of former Defence Secretary Karuna Sen Hettiarachchi. Lieutenant General Mahesh Senanayake was appointed as the 22nd Commander of the Army following his promotion to the rank of Lieutenant General. He was previously serving as the Chief of Staff of the Sri Lanka Army. Lieutenant General Senanayake's appointment was made after the previous commander, General Krishant De Silva, being promoted to the post of Chief of Defence Staff of Sri Lanka, one of the country's topmost military posts. Former Foreign Minister Rohit Bogalagama, meanwhile, was also sworn in as the governor of the Eastern Province today. The position became vacant due to the promotion of former governor Austin Fernando as the new secretary to the president.
Taking a look at yet another controversy surrounding the country, the Muthurajavela garbage disposal dump. Minister of Megapolis and Western Development, Partli Champika Ranawaka, today decided not to dump garbage in Dalathura area in Muthurajavela with effect from the 7th of May. The minister took this decision in a meeting held in Colombo with the participation of area residents and the clergy.
Responding to questions raised by journalists, Deputy Minister of Finance and Mass Media, Lasantha Alagiyawanna also touched on the issue.
During the meeting held today to discuss the garbage dumping issue in the Gampha district, we decided to stop dumping garbage in the area by 6 p.m. on the 7th of this month. And also we decided to methodically limit the dumping in the coming 3 days.
Also speaking at the media briefing today, Parliamentarian S.M. Marikar said public are not properly advised by the local government bodies regarding the segregation of garbage. He added, people in Colombo do not segregate garbage and dump everything together. Meanwhile, President Maithripala Sirisena and Premier Ranil Wickremesinghe held discussions with the parliamentarians of the governing party regarding the garbage issues in the country yesterday. Speaking to media, MP Nalin Bandara said that Minister Partli Champika Ranawaka has been granted the powers of the Chief Minister of the Western Provincial Council to overlook the garbage issue in Colombo.
We arrived at a decision regarding the garbage issue. Minister Partli will be granted the powers of the Chief Minister of the Western Provincial Council without the intervention of the Minister of Provincial Councils until a proper institution is being established to solve the garbage issue.
Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Government Faisal Mustafa says that he will amend the recent Gazette and bring forward the date if elections are needed to be held. The minister made the remark in Parliament today, where garbage disposal in populated areas was taken up for debate.
That I requested you to hold the local government elections and you gazetted for the 1st of July. Now you have gazetted again, postponing elections for October by another gazette, confusing the whole country and the Commission of Elections.
I have in the new gazette stated the date as 1st of October, but if the election is held earlier, I undertake to this House that I will amend the gazette and bring forward the date.
The amended Special Provisions Bill has not been tabled in Parliament to be taken up for debate today. We request this bill be tabled in Parliament this week so it can be passed and the election will not be postponed any further.
මේක පක්ෂනායක රැස්වීමේදී ඔබතුමා ඉදිරිපත් කරුවේ නෑනේ.
මේ සුමානෙම ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් අපි සූදානම්. මේ සුමානේ සිකුරාදා ගන්න.
Let us discuss this matter at the party leaders' meeting. Just because you request it in Parliament, we cannot present the draft bill.
Meanwhile, issues pertaining to the garbage issue was taken up for debate in Parliament today.
Will the government give attention to the appeal by Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit end to dumping garbage in highly populated Dalathura Jayala? The prelate said human body parts discarded by hospitals were mixed with garbage. Who has revealed that even the human body parts discarded from hospitals and mortuaries have been taken and dumped in the environmentally sensitive Muthuraja Vela.
I totally deny the statement. Human body parts from hospitals and mortuaries are being incinerated by health authorities by using their own incineration plants at Valisara.
Cardinal Tuma Lankawatama Henda make a kiwa.
Statements can be made that no concrete evidence has established that body parts have been mixed with waste. Where certain members are trying to create a political stage.
I will allow the Dinesh Gunadhan Mettumadi raise the question. I can allow a debate all day.
Still in local news, parliamentarian Bandula Gunawardena says that the public will not benefit from the amended Inland Revenue Act. Speaking at a media briefing held today, he added that should the act be introduced, it would have adverse effects on the export sector.
We all agree that amendments have to be made to the Inland Revenue Act. However, amendments have to be fair to the public who are taxed and the government gains an income through these taxes. It should not affect parties who are already receiving tax benefits. This act will become a burden to our citizens while providing relief to foreign parties. Furthermore, this will give the Commissioner General of the Inland Revenue Department unlimited powers and it would be a violation of human rights. Tax relief, which were made available through the Inland Revenue Act, will stop. We need to encourage the exports sector. However, certain sectors like gem and jewellery will be affected as they will not be given a tax concession. Moreover, migrant workers will be taxed, but if a foreign party wish to engage in business in the country, they will be free from taxes through this act.
It's time now to take a look at a few other local stories making news from across Sri Lanka.
Today, the United States Embassy in Sri Lanka celebrated the country's declaration of independence 241 years ago on July 4, 1776. In celebration, the US ambassador thus voiced his views.
We've had a wonderful relationship for many, many years between the people of Sri Lanka and the people of the United States. We are intensifying that relationship as we go into the 70th year of American-Sri Lanka relations.
North Central Naval Command, in coordination with Wankale Police, found a consignment of 20.5 kilograms of Kerala cannabis yesterday. The consignment of cannabis was handed over to the Wankale Police for further investigations. Upon receiving a tip-off, naval personnel attached to the North Central Naval Command, in collaboration with Wankale Police, apprehended 2 suspects engaged in an illegal racket of sea cucumbers and shark fins this morning. The racketeers were arrested while they were attempting to smuggle these stocks concealed in 20 packages by dinghy. Among the stocks were 553 kilograms of shark fins and 317 kilograms of sea cucumbers. The Department of Census and Statistics has arranged to conduct a labour demand survey in the country. The survey will be conducted in Sri Lanka for the first time.
In In your business news, Assistant General Manager of NatWealth Securities Limited, Nimal Meghole, revealed the chief dealers of all primary dealer companies were asked to refrain from participating in the special meeting where respective institutions and companies were to raise their concerns over the controversial bond auction of February 27th, 2015. Assistant General Manager of NatWealth Securities was addressing the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the central bank bond issuances today.
Assistant General Manager of NatWealth Securities Limited, Nimal Meghole, appeared before the Presidential Commission today in his capacity as the chief dealer for his employer, who acts as a primary dealer in the central bank treasury bond auctions. Responding to Senior State Counsel Dilan Ratnayaka, Meghole revealed that his company would have submitted higher bids if they were aware that central bank was to accept much higher bid amounts than the offered amount during the auction on the 27th of February 2015. Following his affidavit, he revealed that as a result of the bond auction, NatWealth Securities Limited incurred a loss of 200 million rupees in the financial year ending 2016. Nimal Meghole explained, following the controversial bond auction in 2015, interest rates of the market went up drastically, resulting value of portfolio to come down, which in turn incurred mark-to-market losses for all primary dealers. Citing the results of the bond auction to be surprising, he went on to say that the Association of Primary Dealers gathered on the next working day to discuss the matter. He said all concerned primary dealers had requested an immediate meeting with the Superintendent of the Public Debt Department at the time, which was not granted. All primary dealers were then asked to participate in a special meeting on the 23rd of March 2015 by the officials of the central bank. However, the day before the particular meeting, chief dealers of each primary dealer company and institute was given directives to withhold from attending. In this backdrop, only the chief executive officers of primary dealer companies had participated in the said meeting, which, as revealed much later, was presided over by the then Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayake. CEOs had raised concerns with the Minister of Finance on the controversial bond auction at the meeting. However, Nimal Meghole explained that the government had not taken the required remedial actions which were mentioned by Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayake during the particular meeting.
Still in business news, issuing a release today, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the International Fund for Agricultural Development and the Government of Sri Lanka signed a financial agreement amounting to $33.7 million that will help 57,500 rural households in Sri Lanka to increase their incomes and food security by expanding livelihood and business opportunities in agriculture. The signing ceremony was held recently at the IFAD's headquarters in Rome. The program aims to provide a platform for smallholder farmers in Sri Lanka, particularly for women and young people, to access financing and business training, and will help them to form partnerships with each other and with the private sector. And a visiting Japanese delegation conveyed to the Minister of Finance that Japanese products are being exported under forward contract with buyers, and any sudden amendment to the tax regime may affect their exports. The talks took as representatives from the Japanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Sri Lanka, accompanied by the Japanese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Kenichi Sugunamu, met with the Minister of Finance and Mass Media, Mangala Samaravira, at the Ministry of Finance yesterday. The Japanese delegation briefed the minister on various investment projects and exchanged views on ease of doing business in Sri Lanka. And the Colombo equities swung between gains and losses during today's session, reflecting the indecisiveness among investors. This was the analyst's report. The SPI closed flat at 6,734.13, up 1.07, while the S&P SL20 index declined by around 8 points to close trading at 3,920. Market turnover was about 500 million rupees today, with foreign investors being net buyers. Net inflows amounted to about 68 million rupees. We now have Imeshi Fernando from the Colombo Stock Exchange with today's market update.
Top 5 gainers of the day were Udapusallawa Plantation, Lucky Lanka Non-Voting, Amanata Kaful, Ceylon Printers and Chemenex, while the top 5 losers were Muscalia Plantations, Blue Diamonds, Anilana Hotels, Waskadu Beach Resort and Ceylon Hospitals.
Sri Lanka Ports Authority picked up their first win of the Asian Men's Club Volleyball Championship in Vietnam last evening, beating Hong Kong's Yang Chai Club. Having lost both their pool games, Ports Authority were forced to compete in the 9th place playoff, where they lost to Australia's Canberra Heat in the first game. With this win, however, Sri Lanka may still challenge for 9th place if they can beat Thailand's Air Force in the game currently underway. Jason Holder picked up his maiden 5-wicket haul last evening, helping the West Indies to an 11-run win over India in the 4th ODI at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in North Sound, Antigua.
Much better wicket compared to...
Having won the toss and electing to bat, the West Indies were restricted to just 189 for 9 as all the top order got starts but failed to convert, while Umesh Yadav and Hardik Pandya both picked up 3 wickets each for India. In response, West Indian skipper Jason Holder ripped through the Indian batting lineup, picking up 5 for 27 with Ajinkya Rahane and MS Dhoni's 107-ball 54-run stand being the only resistance put up by the visitors. India continued to lead the series 2-1 with the first game being washed out, and the West Indies will look to win Thursday's game in order to tie the series.
In your headline-making world news, North Korea claims that it successfully tested an intercontinental ballistic missile, the first in North Korea today for the first time, according to state media.
The land-based missile flew for 39 minutes, covering a distance of 930 kilometers, but reaching an altitude of over 2,800 kilometers before landing in the Sea of Japan. Following the test, North Korea claimed its missile could now strike anywhere in the world, and experts say the missile's trajectory shows it is capable of hitting the US state of Alaska. South Korea says it is maintaining military readiness for further provocations by the North, and its President Moon Jae-in says the military is investigating if the missile is indeed an intercontinental ballistic missile. Japan has lodged a protest, and its Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said that Japan will work to increase international pressure on North Korea alongside the US and South Korea.
Katrina Chang is at the Weather Center with your weather forecast.
A very good evening and welcome to the Weather Centre. People in western Sabragamo and central provinces can expect a drizzly time ahead, with wet weather also forecast in Galle and Matre districts, accompanied by strong gusts of wind of about 50 km per hour. Meanwhile, look out for heavy showers in eastern and Ua provinces and in the Muletiu and Vaunia districts. Temperatures may vary between 29 and 36 degrees Celsius in key cities across the island. It's now time to take a look at the city-by-city forecast.
And that's all from your primetime news tonight. But before we go, we'd like to leave you with visuals from one of the most distinctive landmarks in Colombo, the Independence Memorial Hall, built in commemoration of the independence of Sri Lanka from British rule on the 4th of February in 1948. The monument was built at the location where the formal ceremony marking the start of self-rule with the opening of the first parliament took place. Have a pleasant evening. Good night.
Bringing you the news and information 24 hours a day. This is Sri Lanka's premier news channel, Derana 24/7.